Arts Fest was about growing, celebrating, and sharing people's different talents. So we had sessions where people came out and learned certain things that they never learned before, such as like visual arts, stuff to do with painting, photography. And then we had other sessions where, like the open mic, where it was just about showcasing the different talents you have and people celebrating that, so yeah.
Essentially, we've been trying to figure out a way to bring together the arts at ALU. So for the longest time, arts for us has been just music, and we haven't really had an opportunity to try and combine all of that together and bring it into one piece. So the Arts Fest week was an avenue for us to say, there's so many art pieces that we have at ALU. How can we bring that to life in 1 week? How can we show people the hard work that artists go through to bring about something as beautiful as what they do on a day-to-day basis?
Hello, my name is Anya Pusumani and I'm from Botswana. I had the pleasure of organizing the Feminazi Fashion and Art Show for the Arts Festival. I think this year our main focus was proactive feminism, because when you say feminism or feminist, they think it's just a bunch of females like ready to wipe out the male population and all this. So it was time we clear that tension and actually say, it's the time both females and males come together to the same platform to actually discuss this, because both are victims of patriarchy. Like in a system where if a male is beaten up, most people won't come to that side because they think, be man enough. If a male get raped, they'll be like, but maybe you liked it, or that kind of culture being perpetuated, which suppresses the male side itself, and also like the women being suppressed by patriarchy. So it's time, I think, for both sides to come in, hence the proactivity part of it. How are we as African leaders, future African leaders, as different individuals come together to tell these stories, to engage in dialogue and actually find a way to move forward with the issue? How do we change to stop bashing each other or having a back and forth that doesn't help the system? So that was the whole show. And how do we do that? Through poetry, through dancing, through like art pieces. How do you do that, and how do you tell that story and be active in your own accord as a future leader?
Hey, I'm Nicole Kirui and I'm from Kenya, and I'm here attending Feminazi, of course. I think Feminazi is quite important in empowering women because we have a long way to go. As much as people say we are almost there, but we still have a long way to go. And I attended the event mainly because I believe in women empowering other women.
In Africa, it's a bit difficult because of our whole patriarchal system. But then I think in this 21st century and in this day and age, the kind of leaders that are being raised up are people that at some point in time, we'll get to a point in time in Africa where men and women would be equal, and women wouldn't have to fight so much for whatever they need or for whatever they deserve, especially a Black African woman. So yeah.
I ain't stopping no way. I be known as that nigga from Nairobi. I ain't stopping no way. I be known as that nigga from Nairobi. I ain't stopping no way. I be known as that nigga from Nairobi. I ain't stopping no way. Yo, listen.
So my name is Sophonias Nbuse from Ethiopia, and I attended the visual arts workshop. The motivation for that was basically two reasons. One is I'd seen Arts at ALU come alive from its inception, so I was quite excited to see it grow this much. So just first for support, and the second reason is because I suck at visual arts. My stick drawings are sad. So I decided, it'd be a good place to learn and participate at the same time. I learned a lot of fancy words like negative and positive space and how to focus your subject. But it was, three key takeaways. One was I learned some of the background thinking when people create visual pieces. So they have a message in mind, and then these are the techniques they use to, like, let's say, focus their subject or make you look at this part of the picture instead of that part. I also learned how to graffiti a little bit, which was quite cool. I learned how to make basic stencils, how to use the can, just I can make some decent pieces now.
Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to the Arts at ALU Masterclass for Visual Arts. Right now we're doing an icebreaker and we're going to be taking these guys through the dumbest exercises, but we're going to get the best art out of it. So, let you know as it goes along.
Hi, I'm Thomas. I'm out here at the Alila Skyroom. We've been having a visual arts exhibition. Right now I'm doing some steel art. It's been a wonderful experience. I mean, I did some graffiti earlier. Rene has been teaching us how to do graffiti. It's been terrific. I loved it. I did art in high school, but this has been a great moment to kind of refresh the stuff I used to do, but also learn from most of my peers here. I mean, these guys are talented and yeah, it's really brilliant. I'm Thomas, I'm from Uganda, and this has been a really brilliant experience for me. So thanks.
So after the workshop, what art means to ALU, in my humble opinion, is it's the platform we need for all these diverse identities, all of these different backgrounds to be expressed, because we have a lot of different countries, a lot of different backgrounds, a lot of different experiences, and whether it's through a song, through a poem, through a play, the arts at ALU is how all of these can be expressed, and people can now begin to understand the different views that surround them.
I'm from Tanzania, and my event for the Arts Festival was the open mic. What drew me throughout the week was the whole point of the open mic. The open mic is supposed to be a free space where people come and experience talent, people come and show off their talent, and it's something that should happen, spontaneous, and that was the whole point of the open mic, and that's what motivated me, because even as an artist, me coming out in front of the stage and performing, I had to go against a lot of fears. Stage fright, fear of failure, and I think that was the motivation for me to support the other artists, to come up and face the crowd.
Yeah, we try. You do it. And suddenly we had each other. God of all leave you. Always be true.
Thank God you came. I'm living more days without wait. I will make plans with you, and I won't let you walk.
Even at the event, it was a lot of improvisation. We did not practice. We did not see any practices or check for quality. Everyone was just supposed to come as they are, and a lot of things were done right there at the moment. We had to call out people right there. You just call someone, you want to do something, and they say yes, and you put them in the front, and they actually pull it off.
Karaoke. I come from Kenya, and our play was a small scene from a movie called True Romance.
My name is Selassie Tokonu, and I'm from Ghana.
I am Daniel Sichinga, commonly known as Izu. I come from Zambia.
My name is Michael Mwita, and I'm from Kenya.
My name is Hope Mutua, and I'm from Kenya.
One of the things I found quite intriguing about the scene was the power of dialogue and the power of words. Because initially we enter like a scenario where there's someone who's being interrogated and he's been outnumbered completely. But as much as he's outnumbered and also very intimidated by these guys, these Don bosses, these Italian, Sicilian mafia, he's still able to like still hit them as hard as they would in death or in the threats that torture they've put him through?
So my play was called Do You Remember? And it was about 3 girls who were raped and were struggling with whether or not they should report the rape. It was my first time directing, and it was nice and hard at the same time, like trying to make sure, because I also wrote the play, so trying to make sure that they bring out the emotion that you intended while you were writing. That was hard, but it was an exciting journey, and it was nice working because I worked with my friends, so it was nice working with people that I knew were comfortable with each other. I could tell them when they're doing wrong and when they're doing right. Yeah.
The process was strenuous. I wrote the script of the play, or the story itself, last year, and then this year I decided to adapt it into a final script. And there were several times when I had to constantly reiterate the whole entire process, like the scripts, cut off certain things and add in different scenes. And I remember it was 2 days to the final play. I had to add more extra scenes for the actors, and I must say it was quite an interesting process for me, and certain things that I learned, like how to work under pressure, how to coordinate 2 interesting actors on stage, and also how to ensure that they have their lines in as much as we are doing the character development.
I was the writer and director for a play called The Knife. It's a deep, intense and cutting play centered around the LGBT community. It focuses on the life of Clyde, a man whose estranged relationship with his father comes up because his lover, Michael, was killed following orders from his dad. Now, Michael becomes insane, and now the story is focused on what his life becomes after Michael's funeral. My relationship with the cast was an interesting one. First, it started off being a little bit tense and confused because my final cast was not my initial cast. I finished writing the script a couple of days into the Arts Week, and therefore I had a really limited time.
The name of my production was For Colored Girls, and it was inspired by the original stage play, which was later on made into a movie by Tyler Perry. And it follows the different trials and tribulations that women of color, particularly Black women, face. Yes. So I think that the process was, in some way, the process was kind of easy for me. Well, I shouldn't say easy, but it wasn't as difficult because I had a certain vision. I was able to write it down, and my actresses were very, very, they were really good people. They were able to catch my idea really quick, and so they went with the flow. And I think that the process versus the final results, I mean, it was very seamless. It went through very seamlessly, and it came out really beautifully. I was even like very surprised at how beautiful it came out.